my dear panelists, some amazing people that do love technology. Obviously, half of this hall is already puking from the topic AI, but let us finalize with everything and literally destroy you guys before, once again, we will be looking at actually exciting pitches on this specific stage, right? Okay, what a world we live in. AI this, AI that, AI empowers, AI does this, doesn't do this, and whatever. My first question, just to open up, to give a bit of the context for our discussion is, how did AI, how we see it today, impact your personal life, everyday life? Maybe I can start with you.
Yeah, I'll definitely start with working, because I tried using AI in my daily personal life, but I caught myself at a certain point that I'm like, yo, I'm getting dumber. So stop that, but I'm using it daily basis with Copilot. So if anybody's a developer here, GitHub Copilot, freaking rocks, saved me hours and hours and hours of work.
Okay, Laimonas, what about you? Are you throwing away your phone when you're driving home because you do remember how to get home?
So at the beginning, I was really a heavy user. I would describe it, I was using it daily for content generation, and but like right now.
Turiu, gražiai.
Yeah. Lovely. Lovely.
I agree, totally.
Yes, mics off, people.
Yeah. And right now, I'm using it way less. Mainly, I'm using it to automate some of the tasks that I have at my job as a founder. So, to give you very concrete examples, to generate terms and conditions, to generate privacy policy, works like a charm to get you a starting
It's an amazing way to actually use the technology, because no one ever read those user licenses, etc. Right? We just click accept. Kamilė, what's up with you?
I'm started as well as a very heavy user. I used it for everything: generating content, generating blog posts, generating LinkedIn messages, generating content for posters. But then I dialed down and focused on the tasks that actually bored me. So like generating terms and conditions or legal documents, which no one reads. And I'm using it for my personal preferences as well. So for example, if friends are coming from another city, I'm using it for planning of travels and things like that. Planning of meals for the family is also a great way to use ChatGPT.
So there's no place left for human interaction and improvisation. Okay, I get it. But at this point, half of this hall are the startup founders, are the people that are actually trying and they are searching for the ways to execute their ideas, to solve real problems in the world, as soon as possible, as effective as possible. And obviously, all of you sitting here, you already found a way how can you empower basically your daily life or your daily activities with generative AI, right? For everyone to understand, very briefly, so what the F are you doing with your
what
company?
the F am I doing? And so, Laern, we create personalized content for education using AI.
Who needs that?
You do.
Okay, go
But
ahead.
I don't know, maybe you don't, but basically right now we're focused on language learning. So we create various content for people to read, practice writing, practice their grammar, talk with an AI teacher, but it won't say you're dumb unless GPT goes nuts and it says you're dumb, and where you can feel free and not worried about making mistakes, because AI doesn't give a shit if you make mistakes or not. So, yeah.
Good approach. Kamilė, what's up with you?
So we have an AI model which predicts where people look. So we basically enable marketeers and business owners to optimize their marketing campaigns, their websites, their banners, their posters to grab an eye. This is what we do.
Okay, and Laimonas?
And for me, it's a bit personal story.
It all began in 1996 when I finally looked at the screen, right?
Yes, so I'm a recovering startup founder. Previously, we have founded Zity City, and one of the reasons it have died, it was because of high customer acquisition costs. We had low customer tickets. Customers were paying 200 euros per month to us, and we had tens of salespeople doing sales which could be completely automated. And right now, we are building a software that we wish we had back in those days. So I'm a founder of a new company called AskToSell, and it helps busy founders to completely automate sales process or for small deal sizes, from the called out email to objections handling, negotiations, and till your deal gets eventually closed. It sounds like a magic, and
Dude, it sounds really sexy.
yeah. So
How's with the traction?
so that's why it sounds really sexy because it wasn't yet tested in a real market.
All right, okay. Theory. In theory, it works.
In theory, it works. So the first customers will get to try it in the next 10 days. Our CTO is not attending the conference. He is coding right now. So fingers crossed, in 10 days, we'll give you a try.
Awesome.
You were just mentioning that you don't need to code anymore, right? Because the AI does for you. You see people do it.
But he's also using Copilot.
Okay,
Copilot,
go ahead,
yeah.
go ahead, go ahead. Okay, so
I think
it
also-
empowers them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but at this point, I do remember back in the day, in March, something like that, I became very curious on the, let's say, the dark side of AI, and I was watching few of these AI dilemmas. Everyone saw those presentations, right? And I do remember those two guys that were talking on the stage. They were literally laughing. They said, like, we need to update this slide because it's already too old, right? We did it the night before, but it's already outdated, right? Because we get so many various, very interesting, very handful, very effective applications every day, right? It's not only ChatGPT, for God's sake, right? There's a lot of different applications that are already available, and they can actually empower you. So at this point, if I would ask you, look, we have a founder sitting in front of us. He has an idea. It's just an idea. No MVP. Nothing is there. What would you, let's say, mention as applications that you would start with, and you would advise him to check it out?
Yeah, I'm looking more from a developer's perspective.
Okay.
So I like to get my hands dirty. If you're not technical, go ChatGPT. I mean, most of the apps are ChatGPT or GPT-4 because it's still the most powerful LLM as of now. So I would definitely get your hands dirty and try. Don't go in those courses where for 4 months or something you'll learn everything you need to know. It's outdated. Everything gets outdated in a snap. Get your hands dirty, try to deliver value, and get to the market ASAP. Because the market ain't waiting. And once you figure out you got your hands dirty, I'd personally recommend LangChain. So that's something that saved me a lot of trouble and made everything way easier to abstract away. But that's more a developer's talk, and I don't think that everybody's interested in developing here. But LangChain is awesome.
Okay. Kamilė, you're living with something called AI for quite a while, and at the same moment, you're very well aware on how the marketing industry is changing, right? So what are the tools that did literally surprise yourself when you found them and you said, like, Jesus Christ, why only today?
Wow. So generative AI in general, generating images and text. So generating images, Adobe Firefly literally blew my mind. How well can it do product photography? How well can it do posters, as well as Midjourney? Midjourney is a great tool to generate unique content for images that you need. Everything from doodle posters all the way to customer models for your e-com store. So those would be the tools. The tool that recently blew my mind was Stable Doodle, which actually enables you to transform the drawings that you do into art, into AI art, and you actually can control AI with your drawings. So you draw mountains and then you get mountains as a return. This is very powerful because Midjourney is hallucinating a lot. So if you brief them on specific thing, you're not only getting the specific thing with that. So these would be the ones. And the last one would be Cleanup. So it's basically Photoshop for people who cannot use Photoshop. So you can delete things from images without Photoshop help, literally
oh my God,
by
this
dragging
is
this
awesome. You
one.
make a picture, you hate the guy, you click it, he disappears.
Exactly.
And then you post it on Facebook, you tag him, but he's not there.
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay, let's do this. But also, I've seen solutions where, for example, at least they claim like this, you write the text and they create a video, and it's actually pretty good.
Well, yes.
Like for advertising of your solution?
Well, yes, there
Have you
are.
tried something like this?
I tried one.
Shit.
Don't remember the name of the startup, but I tried one of the tools. But I would say videos are still the future because AI is great at generating images and moving images, but it still struggles with videos. But again, the pace that AI is moving is superb. So the videos commercials that we saw at December, which very bizarre things like bizarre pizza, bizarre faces. Now we see very quality content created by these AI. So I would say give it time and it will generate videos for you, but not yet.
Okay, well, Laimonas, what's your approach towards the already existing very interesting applications that you say like, oh my God, why aren't you using it yet?
I will be like devil's advocate here, like keep things simple. Don't use AI just for the sake of AI. If you are a founder, start from a problem, not like a tool. Maybe slight piece of advice, don't waste time using open source models to reach product market fit. Use like the best commercial models like OpenAI API and few other leadings.
You mean you just pay a bit and then the delivery will be way bigger and way better?
Once you get traction, you can optimize using like some tiny model from Hugging Face or replicate.com and etc. But right now, like keep things simple and focus on the customer problem. And like personally myself, I also tend to use like, I sometimes spend more time using AI tool to get the outputs than just to get the thing done myself. So be rational about it. Like it's not just
Because otherwise we're getting into the world where you open LinkedIn or Facebook and you're just scrolling down and you see every second company making a post with a beautiful picture that begins with, "We are thrilled to announce," right? Everyone is freaking thrilled to announce nowadays. I'm actually capturing those print screens because I really want to do a research on how many of the companies are not using ChatGPT to write their posts. And is it a problem that we will, and there's a chance that we will become very similar because everyone is using the same tools?
I want to say that if you are using tool wisely and if you're using the fusion between the actual, for example, copywriter and
the actual brain
the
and
actual
technology.
brain and AI, then you can get freakishly amazing and unique results in half of the time. But if you're just plainly using, as you correctly said, AI for just sake of AI, then yes, everything will be freakishly amazing.
Amazing. At this point, obviously, there is this position in the world that everyone is like, I don't know, maybe people just like to talk, right? They're saying like, with the AI, what it will do, we will have the companies that consist of 1, 2, maybe 3 people, and that's it, that's what is needed. But at this point, Laimonas pointed it like, look rationally at this, right? But what is your perspective? Can it actually save the costs of a decent company, or it's like it's minor, we still need human beings, we still need developers, we still need, accountants.
Yeah, I like ways, I don't know, somebody on YouTube said, your job is not going to be replaced by AI, it's going to be replaced by a person using AI well. And I think that's where it's moving to. If we can see OpenAI recently move to enterprise, where they're selling directly to big companies, they're like, hey, you have your own ChatGPT with super security and all, and you don't need to hire 5 people. You can hire one guy that knows this thing well. We train him, bum, bum, bum. I think that's where it's moving. But it's not moving like we will replace all developers because somebody needs to architect it, somebody needs to test it, and somebody needs to talk to people. For me, it's like we're solving human problems. If we're solving AI problems, AI can probably solve AI problems pretty well. At the end of the day, we're solving human problems, and we do need to talk human to human. That's at least how I see it.
Anything to add?
Yeah, humans like humans. So certain things will not be changed with AI, but it will be revolutionized how things are going. So I encourage you to identify the most repetitive, boring things that you do in your daily jobs and try to find an AI or not even AI, a program for it, because you need to focus your attention towards the thing that you do best, which is creativity, which is entrepreneurship, which is critical thinking. And this will not be taken over by AI for sure.
Laimonas, you remember in your previous project, you were entering new markets, right? From the problems that you faced there, today you already built a new tool to solve them. But for example, if I am a very early stage startup, my market in Lithuania is way too small, and I'm trying to figure out how can I expand abroad, how would you use the generative AI to help you? Are there any opportunities or possibilities?
So best way to test it out is to so you have built an amazing product or a hypothesis about a product. Now you need to help the world to know about it. Previously, how you could do it, you could buy Facebook ads and advertise in a certain market, or hire salespeople to do sales in a certain market. Right now, hopefully, once AskToSell goes live, for example, so instead of hiring a salesperson for a few thousand euros per month, you could deploy technology at 10 times cheaper the cost. That would have, feedback loops to you faster compared to, a human salesperson. In that sense, so and like right now, it's like really exciting phase for founders. Like AskToSell right now, it's like just two people, hustler and a hacker. Myself, I'm a hustler, so I'm responsible to get customers on board. Hacker is responsible for not going to conferences. Right now we have everything what's needed to grow the company like at least to 1 million in revenue. We know how to do it. But like, of course, for some steps, we'll decide to hire people. But like technology right now allows you to have more options how to test out things quicker and more efficiently.
Yeah, but at this point, maybe, Kamilė, the next question is for you. Mm-hmm. We all want to make data-driven decisions.
Yes.
We all want to make rational decisions based on something, right? And we all try to ask ChatGPT somewhat questions. For example, you did mention that you use it for your friends' trips, right? Yes. What to do, where to eat, etc., etc. I remember I asked how to make cepelini, and it wrote me that I should use the oil on the pan to bake it, right? So at this point, when it's hallucinating, how can you rely while making your business decisions? For example, should I enter to Poland and this and that audience would be buying my solution? Do you get my idea?
Of course.
Okay. So how can we rely on it, or can we rely on it?
So there are certain things. So of course, the first one is critical thinking. I would not advise to make critical business decisions based on AI feedback or AI-generated content. Then second is trusting not one AI but several. You can ask how to make cepelini for ChatGPT, BART, and other large language models. So just spread around the questions throughout AIs, but don't make the decisions based on AI hallucinations. Make them on your critical thinking. And this is why I was talking about dedicating boring tasks towards AI models, not dedicating your whole future of your whole business.
Okay. Dovydas, anything?
Yeah, I was thinking like it also depends on the lifetime value of the customers we're talking about. Because if we're talking B2B, I wouldn't want to say we have 10 potential big customers in Poland. I wouldn't want ChatGPT to text them and be like, hey, my name is Sam. No, I want to talk to them directly. I worked in B2B sales, and that direct personal feeling when we're talking about deals that, I don't know, exceed $1 million and above, you want to talk to a person. You don't want to talk to an AI. When we're talking about small scale, when it's all about quantity and we can get a lot of quantitative data, I'm all about AI. Launch in Poland, B2C product, you see the data, you know how to make decisions. We're talking B2B, I still think a good salesperson can make hell of a better job than an AI ever could.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you because it's still human-to-human approach, right? I can maybe analyze a bit of, or give you a bit of understanding on who that person
Right.
is, what he likes, right? At this point, maybe we are getting to this very popular topic of privacy and ethics, right? So at this point, obviously, you can write all the instructions in your company that you want, and like, never ever put this document into, for example, ChatGPT to ask a question and analyze this. But people are people; they still do it, right? How can we approach this specific issue? Is it a big threat, or the big companies, let's say the OpenAI as a company, do they have any solutions for, let's say, corporate needs where the information is really sensitive and it can impact the results of the company?
Yeah, as I mentioned previously with OpenAI enterprise version, that's where we're focusing at.
Okay.
We don't train the models on the data you're providing us. We keep that safe. And I think there's a good market segment for that. Obviously, there's another market segment where people don't care and it's like, hey, go have fun. And the price obviously is very different if we're talking enterprise. Whatever is enterprise, you can go 10x the customer license. So I think the market is moving there anyways.
Yeah, I would add on training for your employees, because AI will not go anywhere. They will still use it. It's up to you and upper management to make sure that they are using it correctly and they're using the tools that are approved by companies.
Yep. I would also add that startup, we have 1,000 ways, 100 ways to die, and privacy is like
Let's stick to 1,000.
100.
Hundreds of thousands.
And, privacy is like least of those things you should be worried about right now. So
What are other than risks that you would be looking at or you see on the market?
with AI or
Yes,
in
exactly.
general?
Especially with the applications that everyone is so easily opening up the data. Just log in, click here, add the data, and see what happens then. Do you see any threats there?
No, just do it.
Just do it, right?
YOLO.
Just feed the system with your data.
Hey, you're already feeding Google or somebody else. Why not OpenAI? Come on, man. Be generous.
Bali, I want to go to Bali. I need vacation. I need good price. Okay, at this point, if someone is really curious to see what's available on the market, what would be the resources you would offer them to subscribe to watch, to monitor, and where would they could find something interesting that comes up every day?
I think
What are you checking every day?
every day YouTube. Yeah, but I'm probably
YouTube.
addicted to it, so I wouldn't recommend it. But YouTube is my main source of. I really love YouTube. You just go through it and you get a lot of data in it.
There are some specific channels where you're...
I think it's called AIpreneur or something. But at the end of the day, if you really know the basics, I think it's like in coding, the basics ain't changing that much. How LLMs work, how you're chaining different responses, that ain't changing. Most of the hype is, hey, we have a new model, this changes everything. Yeah, it probably doesn't change everything. The base of LLMs is the same as it was in the few papers that started the thing, right? Nothing is changing that dramatically that fast. So the hype is all good, but at the end of the day, just sit down and get shit done, you know what I'm saying?
You're oversimplifying stuff. We're
No, I
more
think-
excited here, you know?
No, I think you need to oversimplify things because it's very easy to get caught and just
I heard
be,
you
oh my
shut
God,
the
there's
fuck
this-
up and go and do your job,
and
right?
do your job.
Write the fences.
Absolutely.
Don't ask ChatGPT about it.
Just
About
do
it.
what you got to do.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of hype, and it's very easy to get caught. Blockchain was also a lot of hype. If you remember that wave, it's
I know a few people in the hall that
everything
say that it
freaking
still
blockchain.
is.
Yeah, it might be. I mean, it's my personal opinion. But
Let's
yeah.
ask ChatGPT, right?
Let's ask ChatGPT.
Okay. Kamilė, where do you search for new and exciting tools to use?
I want to say Generative AI LinkedIn group is a great source. It has over 2 million followers.
There's someone that visits LinkedIn groups. You heard that, right?
Yep. Check it out. But I would say not go to forums, but go to communities. So I would invite everyone to join AI Lithuania, which AI professionals are actually stumbling around in one room talking about new AI tools and talking about AI applications. They have meetups. I'm not sure when is the next one, but check their Facebook group. It's a thing. Facebook group is still a thing. You can find a lot of content there. And in general, GitHub and all other community forums there.
Laimonas?
I would add Twitter.
X.
And,
X.
yeah, exactly, X. And
Yeah, it's going to be Twitter for 20 years, you'll see.
For sure.
like Statoil or Circle K.
Yeah, absolutely.
And follow like engineers from top AI companies like OpenAI and etc. We are like openly sharing what we are working on. So you'll be ahead few weeks in this fast evolving space, but at the same time, don't get like it's easy to get overwhelmed with flow of information, flow of new tools, and stick to the fundamentals and what makes your company.
Okay, and for the very end, at this beautiful Startup Fair 2023, maybe my last question, and I think the most important question for people in this hall. How can startups capitalize on generative AI to attract investors? Didn't expect that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the name, I believe, first of all, it sounds very nice, but nobody is surprised with AI anymore, that you're using AI, especially since LLMs became such a big thing. It's like everything is AI. I think moving to different markets, what we talked previously, and moving fast to them and testing your hypothesis, even with two guys, I think is something that was not achievable previously on that base. Where you feel that, hey, Nigeria might be a good market, boom, you can try it out without having to hire a Nigerian prince. And I think that's something that we can really capitalize on, and then you come with the numbers.
Okay.
You get your numbers there.
Kamilė, what do you think? Are there any applications that you would offer to use?
Well, I would say first find your product market fit. This is very important before you approach investors. Second of all, find investor fit. So you can use tools as ChatGPT to find your perfect investor profile, but invest into research yourself and remember that people like people. So if you do your homework correctly while attending the conferences such as this, you will already have certain meetings set up with investors. So I think I would say that investors are high-profile customers as in B2B, so you need to approach them person by person. No investor would like to get generic ChatGPT message, but you can still optimize the process of your investments road towards using tools like Midjourney for generating unique content, using tools like ChatGPT to generate intro mails to kind of approach them at the first step. So there's a lot of tools that you can use, but be smart about using them.
And Laimonas, how can we capitalize on this?
In my view, you can't. Like it's simply technology of choice, and just using generative AI in your startup doesn't mean you get funded. It's same as saying my startup is using cloud infrastructure right now. So it's you should describe the problem which you're solving very well and see some clear evidence of people relating to that problem and evidence of them trying to pay you as well. So this is the most important. Technology is secondary, and you can pick whatever works best for your use case. And just don't use AI for sake of using AI.
Got it. So basically, in a nutshell, stay hungry, stay cool, and get shit done yourself, right?
Done.
At this point, then if you want to find an easier way to get funded, so outside of this building, just on the left, there's a huge money zone that has all of the Lithuanian VCs and accelerators in it. So go there and talk to them, human to human, live. Thank you, my dear panelists.